The living room buzzed with chatter, laughter, and the clinking of plates. It was supposed to be a night of celebration, family, friends, neighbors all gathered under one roof. I stood near the corner, quiet, hoping to stay unnoticed. That's when it happened. My father's hand struck my face so hard the sound cracked through the room like thunder. The sting lit up my cheek, but what hurt more was the silence that followed, dozens of eyes turning, watching, but no one stepping in. And then, a sound I'll never forget. Clapping. My little sister. She laughed, clapped, and shouted, "Do it again, Dad," as though my pain was her entertainment. The room shifted, some laughed nervously, others looked away, but nobody stopped it. I stood there, cheeks burning, not just from the slap, but from the shame that boiled inside me. My chest tightened. In that moment, I wasn't a son, a brother, or even a person. I was a joke. I wanted to scream, to run, to disappear. Instead, I swallowed my tears, forcing myself to stand still, while my heart whispered the one question that haunted me: why doesn't anyone care? That night, the house was quiet. The party was over, the guests were gone, but the noise inside me wouldn't stop. I sat on the edge of my bed, staring at the faint red mark still glowing on my cheek in the mirror. But the slap wasn't what haunted me, it was the sound of her clapping. My own sister. The one I thought might understand. Each time I closed my eyes, I heard it again, sharp, cruel, echoing like it would never end. I buried my face in my hands. For the first time, I whispered words I never thought I'd say: maybe I don't matter. Maybe nobody sees me. Maybe nobody cares. The room felt smaller and smaller, pressing in on me, and I wanted to vanish. And then, through the fog of hurt, I remembered something: my teacher slipping me a small card weeks ago. She had said, "Just in case you ever need someone to talk to, keep this." The card was still in my drawer. I pulled it out, my fingers trembling as I read the numbers. A helpline. I stared at the phone in my hand, my heart racing. What if no one answered? What if they didn't care either? Minutes passed. I almost gave up. But something inside whispered louder than my fear: just try. Just once. And with shaking hands, I dialed. The phone rang once, twice, 3 times. I almost hung up. My hand hovered over the button, ready to give up, when a gentle voice came through. "Hello, this is the helpline. I'm here to listen." For a moment, I couldn't speak. My throat felt tight, words locked inside me. Silence stretched. I thought they'd grow impatient, maybe hang up. But instead, the voice continued, steady, calm, patient. "It's okay. You don't have to rush. I'm right here." Something about those words broke the dam. The tears I had swallowed all day came flooding out. I cried, loud, unfiltered, the way I never could at home. And the voice, it didn't interrupt. It didn't judge. It just listened. Between sobs, I told them about the slap. About the clapping. About how invisible I felt. I expected disbelief, maybe even blame. Instead, the counselor's words came like warmth in a frozen place. "You are not what happened to you. You are more than the pain they've put on your shoulders. I see you. I hear you. And you matter." I froze, clutching the phone tighter. No one had ever said those words to me, not like that. For the first time in so long, I felt something I thought I had lost forever. Hope. That night, I didn't just talk to a stranger. I found someone who reminded me I was still human. Still worthy. Still alive. The days after the call felt different. I still walked through the same hallways, sat at the same dinner table, but inside, something had shifted. I wasn't completely alone anymore. Then one morning, a knock rattled our front door. My father opened it, and standing there was a woman with a calm but firm presence. A social worker. Behind her, another official held a clipboard. My father's smile faded. His voice turned sharp. "We don't need you here. but the woman didn't flinch. She spoke with quiet strength. "Your son deserves to be safe. We're here to make sure of that." The room froze. My mother's eyes darted, nervous. And my sister, the same sister who had clapped when I was hit, stood by the wall, her face pale, her smirk gone. For the first time, she looked unsure, maybe even guilty. Questions were asked. Papers were signed. And for once, my father had no control, his anger met a wall stronger than his fists. As I sat there, my hands trembling, I realized what had happened. One call. One shaky, desperate call. And now people were standing up for me, where no one in my own family ever had. It wasn't just about me anymore. It was proof that silence could be broken, that the cycle of hurt could be stopped. In that moment, I felt something I had never felt inside my own home before: protection. Months later, the bruises on my skin had faded, but what surprised me most was how the heaviness in my chest had begun to lift too. Life wasn't perfect, healing never is, but it was changing. That spring, my school announced auditions for the annual play. For the first time, I signed up. My hands shook as I held the script, but the counselor's words still echoed in my mind: "You matter. Your voice deserves to be heard." Opening night came. The lights were bright, the stage crowded with faces, and my heart pounded so loud I thought the audience could hear it. But when I spoke my lines, the fear melted into something else: strength. And then, it happened. Applause. Real applause. Not the cruel clapping of mockery, but the warm sound of people celebrating me for who I was. In the middle row, I saw her, my sister. Tears streamed down her cheeks as she clapped, not out of ridicule, but out of pride. Her eyes met mine, and for a brief moment, I saw her regret, her change. I smiled. Because I finally understood, one small act, one phone call, had not only saved me, but started to transform the people around me. That night, the applause didn't just echo in the auditorium. It echoed in my soul. I wasn't invisible anymore. I wasn't broken. I was free.